Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Well, I've got a few questions to ask the girls. What do you want out of this catalog?
Gee, Mom, it's awfully heavy.
And that's only from A to H.
Oh, there's some darling dresses in there. Well, let me see the baseball equipment.
I'm getting some books. I'm going to be
The catalog seems to be a big event around here. Is it some special occasion?
Oh, the only occasion is that the girls haven't had anything new in a while. I hope their questions haven't been interfering with your writing.
Interfering? Why, I get more work done here in one day than I did in a week in New York. This hotel is a wonderful place for writing.
I'm glad to hear that, because it's a terrible place for a hotel.
And for 3 young girls?
Have you ever seen 3 happier girls?
No, nor 3 prettier or brighter girls.
Thank you.
It just seems they should have more opportunities than they'll ever get here.
Oh, they couldn't be pried away from the Shady Rest.
There's nobody in New York can announce trains better than that little fellow.
Oh, and that whistle means Uncle Joe's back from the bank. Excuse me, please.
Surely.
Uncle Joe, you mean Mr. Gurney wouldn't...
He said he was sorry, but he was running a bank, and it just wouldn't be good business.
But lending money is a bank's business, and I've always paid the interest on time.
Well, it wasn't the interest he was principally interested in. What he was principally interested in was the principal.
How can a bank be so mean? I got a good mind to send back their calendar. Girls, I don't know how to tell you this.
You don't have to tell us. There's nobody around here to admire me in a pretty dress anyway.
There's nobody to play baseball with. And who am I going to read poems to?
Billie Jo, I'll admire your dress. And Betty Jo, you can play ball with me, and you can either pitch or catch. And Bobbie Jo, you can read your love poems to me anytime you want.
Thanks, Uncle Joe. But that isn't exactly what I had in mind.
I see what she means, but I'm the best I got to offer. No, it isn't fair to the girls. Maybe we ought to move somewhere where there's more teenagers like themselves.
Move? How can we afford to move when we can't even afford to stay?
Well, don't worry, Kate. Once I put my brain to the grindstone...
No wonder Mr. Gurney turned you down. You forgot to give him the rhubarb pie I baked for him. The nerve of him. You mean he ate my pie and then turned down the loan?
No, Kate. First he turned down the loan, then he ate the pie.
He's got more crust in the pie. Why should I blame him? The truth of the matter is that I've never made a go of this hotel, and sometimes I wish I could get rid of it.
Is there any more of this?
How can you think of eating at a time like this?
When I'm frustrated, I eat.
From the looks of you, your life has been one long frustration.
Mrs. Bradley.
Oh, Mr. Deming, is there something I can do for you?
Yes, there is. You can sell me the Shady Rest. I'm serious, Mrs. Bradley. I'd like to buy the Shady Rest. I've been thinking about it all week. I'd be making an investment in peace and quiet.
Yes. Sometimes the peace and quiet around here is nerve-wracking. Besides, it hasn't been very profitable.
It would be to me. The way I can work here, why, it would pay for itself in no time. You and the girls could move to the city where they belong.
Girls would never be happy away from here.
Mrs. Bradley, are you sure of that?
Mothers know their daughters. I remember when I was their age, I would... Come to think of it, I'm not so sure. Sell the Shady Rest?
I know it's sudden, but you think it over.
Sell the Shady Rest?
Couple more turns and I'll have this drain unclogged.
Uncle Joe, look what you've done.
Found the problem, Kate. What we need is a new pipe.
And a new sink, and a new stove, and a new refrigerator, and a new roof, and a... Uncle Joe, what would you say if I sold the Shady Rest?
Sell the Shady Rest.
You wouldn't like that, would you?
I'd love it.
Well, you sure don't look very happy about it.
I was just thinking who'd buy a no-rundown place like this.
I'm just getting an idea of the size of the lobby. You know, figuring how I'd remodel it if I owned the hotel.
Oh. Did you say own the hotel?
That's right.
You'd be interested in buying this rundown? You'd be interested in buying the Shady Rest?
I sure would.
Kate, put down your iron and get ready to pay me a commission.
What?
You remember a minute ago you were despairing about selling the Shady Rest? Just like that, I come up with a buyer.
You did?
Yeah, it's that novel writing feller, Carter Deming.
Uncle Joe.
First, I gotta think of some way to unshamble the place, make it more attractive to him.
Uncle Joe, Mr. Deming already told me he likes the Shady Rest.
Kate, I'm gonna sell it to him without him even knowing he's being sold.
Uncle Joe!
Mr. Deming, you had me fooled. I really thought you was one of them writers.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, come on now. I know why you want to buy this property. You're one of them archaeologists.
Archaeologists?
Sure. You know about the big oil field under this property.
I think you mean geologists.
What's geologist?
They're interested in rocks.
Oh, and you know about the diamond mine, too.
No, Mr. Carson. I'm not interested in oil wells or diamond mines.
Then you must have found out about the healthful atmosphere here. Doggone it, I let that slip out. Mr. Deming, I hope you'll forget I said that. I hope you'll forget we got the healthiest atmosphere in the world. Birds with chests out to here. Man could live to be 100 and feel like a pup all the time. How's that for 96 years old?
Pardon me, Nijinsky. Would you pirouette out to the woodshed and bring back an armload of kindling?
We're pretending we're living in New York, and I'm the world's most glamorous model.
Is that the way you're going to do it?
Oh, she's walking on men.
And who are you?
Oh, I'm the world's greatest girl baseball player. And this is my sister, the world's greatest writer.
Please, I'm having an inspiration.
Well, looks like I got into the wrong room. I was looking for the world's best towel putter-upper. Would you girls really like New York?
New York, you kidding? Oh, Mom, it's fabulous.
And Betty should know. She spent almost a week there.
There is no question about it. New York is the most exciting city in the world.
What other exciting cities have you seen?
Well, we practically flew right over Philadelphia. Oh, just wait till I show you New York. They're the most fascinating
Have you made a decision, Mrs. Bradley?
Well, one, I was wrong about Uncle Joe and the girls not being happy any place but here.
I'll give you $10,000 for the Shady Rest.
10,000? My goodness, I knew we had peace and quiet, but I didn't think we had that much. The Shady Rest isn't worth anywhere near $10,000.
It is to me. And think what that money would do for the girls. A new environment, opportunities, college.
College? I never thought I could send them to college.
I knew you'd see the advantages. Here's my check for $1,000 as a deposit.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Mrs. Bradley, you're aware of your financial situation here. You're aware of what Uncle Joe and the girls want. And you know you'll never get a better offer. I think you really do know what you should do. It's a deal, then. And no backing out now.
No backing out?
You shouldn't have embarrassed me in front of Mr. Deming. I was just telling him how healthful it is here. Part of my sly selling tactics.
Uncle Joe, I've sold the Shady Rest.
Sure you will with me working on Deming. Sold it?
To Mr. Deming.
Didn't I tell you I'd do it? My sly tactics worked out even faster than I expected. Now all me and him's got to do is sit down and work out the financial details.
The hotel is sold.
$1,000? When I told you to leave business to me, I could have got you $2,000.
That's just the deposit. Mr. Deming paid $10,000 for the hotel.
Huh?
$10,000. Now, don't let on to the girls. I want to tell them myself. And after dinner will be a good time.
Do you go to Madison Square Garden?
Have you ever been to a fashion
Do you
show?
think I'm pretty enough to be a New York model?
I'll answer those questions later on. Right now, I've got to get back to work.
That's right. Let Mr. Deming go. Good night, Mr. Deming.
Good night.
Good night.
Wait a minute, girls. I have an announcement to make.
An announcement?
Mm-hmm. We're all going to New York.
Oh, really? For how long?
Oh, not just for a visit. We're going to live there.
We're going to live in New York City?
That's right.
But how?
How is because I pulled a slick, high financial deal and sold the Shady Rest to Mr. Deming without his knowing it.
You sold the Shady Rest?
We're not going to live here anymore? And we're going to live in New York?
Isn't that wonderful?
It's a joke, isn't it, Mom? You wouldn't sell the Shady Rest.
But you said how wonderful New York was.
It is, but we didn't mean to live there.
But you said it would be wonderful to live in New York.
Well, it would be if you belonged there. But we belong here. We don't want to live anyplace else.
Now stop your crying. In a couple of days, you'll love New York. You won't even miss this old broken down, ramshackle bullshit.
Uncle Joe, wait a minute.
Kate, I've been thinking, we got to cancel out New York.
Uncle Joe, you might as well accept the fact that the hotel is sold.
But Kate, if I leave, what's going to happen to the Hooterville Fire Department band? What if there's a fire? Who's going to organize the Elks picnic?
The music will be better, the fires will be put out sooner, and the Elks picnic will be held in a more suitable place than Scully's Swamp.
But if he...
It's no use. I shook hands with Mr. Deming and promised not to back out.
Kate, I ain't talking about you backing out. I'm talking about him backing out.
He's not gonna back out. He's getting a lot of work done, and he loves the peace and quiet around here more than ever.
But Kate, what are you yapping and wagging your tail about? You ain't gonna like New York. Your rabbit chasing days are over. You're gonna find yourself stuck in a city apartment 50 stories above the pavement. Gonna have to learn to bury your bones in concrete. Hey, Fred.
Yes.
Want to talk to you.
Well, come on over here. We won't have to holler.
Can't, your hog's clogging up my sinuses.
Well, then get upwind from it.
Want to make a deal with you, Fred.
Yeah.
How about renting me your hogs?
Renting? Well, no, I never had no experience renting hogs. What do you want to rent them for?
Oh, we got this writing fellow over at the hotel we want to discourage. We figure your hog's in there going full blast.
No, just a that blame minute.
Oh, no offense, Fred. Since this is a city feller, we figured your hog's in there a fragrantin' and an oinking around the hotel.
Well, now, in that case, they'd have to charge you by the oink.
Nobody's going to have time to stand around counting oinks.
Gotta have some way to figure.
What difference does it make, Fred? Your hog's got to oink someplace, whether they're oinking here or oinking there.
Well, what are you trying to get rid of this writing fellow for? Ain't he paid his bill?
Oh, he wrangled Kate into a deal to sell the hotel. If we don't discourage him, Kate and the girls are going to have to move away.
Oh, well, no. In that case, my hogs would be glad to oblige and no charge. We'll send this fella back where he come from. Hey, oh, to it.
Come on, boys, hurry it up, hurry it up. Let's go. Okay, Floyd, open that door real wide to release that hog aroma.
They're gone. Gosh, Fred will kill us.
Uh-oh.
You ain't paying passengers. What are you doing in the coach?
Joe, we told you to fasten that coach door tight.
Hey, lucky for us, the wind's blowing straight towards the hotel. I'll bet Demi's getting a whiff of them hogs right now. Get them oinks to going. Sorry to bother you, Mr. Deming, but I thought I'd better close this window.
Window? What for?
On account of the aroma that comes in regular this time every day.
I don't notice anything.
Then you ain't breathing. Here, take a deep one. I gotta be honest with you. The way the cannonball's scheduled, they're gonna have to park a carload of them hogs here every day.
Ah, the smell of the country. What a wonderful relief after breathing in those exhaust fumes in New York.
Okay, boys, he's up there working. Let's start destroying the piece in the quiet.
All right, which one should we destroy first?
We don't destroy the cannonball.
Don't be selfish. You don't want Kate and the girls to go away to New York, do you?
No.
Then stop yapping and start whacking. Just come in and tell you I'm sorry about the noise Floyd and Charley are making out there. I say I'm sorry about the noise Charley and Floyd are making out there.
Oh, that's all right.
You know how it is with an old locomotive like the cannonball. It's got to be worked on all the time.
Mm-hmm. Guess so.
There's Joe's signal. He wants more noise.
Yeah. You keep on with the hammer and I'll add some extras.
Floyd and Charlie probably be at it all night.
Mm-hmm. Guess so.
Girls, you're not eating breakfast.
We're kind of tired.
We didn't get any sleep last night.
Who did?
Boy, what a racket. You'd think Charley and Floyd would have picked a better time to fix the cannonball.
That's no way to talk. The boys worked all night so you and the other kids could get to school on time.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Dillon.
Ah, smells good and looks good.
Morning, Uncle Joe.
Morning.
Morning.
You look pretty good, considering.
Considering what, Mr. Carson?
Considering the sleep you didn't get on account of the boys working on the locomotive.
Didn't bother me a bit. Slept like a baby. After living in a noisy place like New York, nothing keeps me awake.
just in talk with Floyd and Charley, and what have you got behind your back?
What back?
The back you're using to hide something from me. Uncle Joe? What's in there?
Ain't nothing, Kate. Just a few friendly mosquitoes.
Friendly enough to bite Mr. Deming, so he'll think this is an unhealthy place to live and back out of buying the hotel?
Now, Kate, you're jumping to conclusions. I was just getting together an act.
Oh, it'll never top the act you've been doing so far. Floyd and Charley told me about the phony breakdown of the cannonball and the hogs.
Oh, they did they?
Yes. And let's get one thing straight. The hotel is sold, and we're sticking to the deal.
But, Kate,
Oh, Mr. Deming, did you enjoy your walk?
Mrs. Bradley, I enjoy everything about this place. The walks, the food.
How do you like the mosquitoes?
What mosquitoes?
Ones that always show up here around this time of year.
Uncle Joe.
They come back here like the swallows come back to Capistrano. Only our mosquitoes is bigger.
Uncle Joe's making a little joke. Very little.
You're quite a card, Mr. Carson. I'm going to miss you.
And soon. He's going into town to pick up the deed to the hotel, which reminds me. Girls.
Yes, Mom?
You better go along with Uncle Joe and keep an eye on him. I better go along and keep an eye on you. And you better come along and keep an eye on me. Oh, and Mr. Deming, you better...
No, thanks. All I want to do is get at the next chapter of my novel.
Well, that's that. Uh-oh. I just forgot something. Kate, I'll meet you and the girls on the train.
Well, hurry it up. Supper's late already.
Hey, Sam. Now, Sam, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but there could be a few loopholes in this deed.
Oh, not a chance. I drew that up myself.
Well, that's just the point. As our attorney, you might sneak in a few.
I guess I could do that. But as county clerk, I'd be bound to catch them.
You might not notice them.
Bound to. And as sheriff, I'd have to arrest myself.
Well, as county judge, you could give yourself a real light sentence.
You know what you've just tried to do? You've just attempted to bribe 4 county officials to do something illegal.
All right, I'm a reasonable man. We'll do it legal then. Look it up in the book.
All right, I'll get my do-it-yourself Blackstone.
It'd be under S for shenanigans.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's what I thought. The legal situation regarding Kate and the sale of the Shady Rest is a simple matter of an ex post facto case of a conveyance contract or covenant without recourse to escrow by the vendor or the grantee.
Yeah? Well, what does that mean in plain, simple, everyday English?
In plain, simple, everyday English, I'm sure gonna miss you folks.
I thought you'd never get back.
Well, it took us a little longer than we figured. You must be starved. I'll start supper right away.
That can wait.
Oh. Well, here's your deed.
Mrs. Bradley, I'm going to be very direct. I'd like to back out of our deal.
You mean you don't want to buy the Shady Rest?
I'm sorry, I really wanted to. But I haven't written a dozen words since you left. I couldn't. The place has been like a big empty barn. I realized that what made me happy here wasn't the hotel or the peace and quiet. It was the spirit of the place. The nice, warm feeling that you and the girls and Uncle Joe give it. Without you all here, I wouldn't stay a week. I hope you're not disappointed.
Disappointed? Mr. Deming, I didn't think I would ever say this again for the rest of my life.
What?
You have just made me the happiest woman in the whole wide world.
That's wonderful. Well, pleasure.
Junction. This has been a Filmways presentation.